What's good, creative fan? Brandon Washington here, and the setup is a little different, and that's because I just actually hopped off of a podcast. So I just shot a podcast for the homie Brandon over at Let's Talk Filmmaking, which is a podcast where he talks to different filmmakers. And after the podcast was actually over, me and B got a chance to actually kind of talk a little bit. And she asked me basically like how I decide how much money I'm going to make and how I decide about like dealing with the issue of low paying gigs and specifically music videos. She is based in Las Vegas, I believe she said. She's based in Las Vegas, and in Las Vegas, like it's the same thing everywhere where you're getting artists that contact you for music videos for $300-$400. She said she even got contacted for one as low as $50. But she really likes shooting music videos. So I kind of broke down a little bit of an idea for how to handle dealing with those type of clients. But also, I also kind of gave her a little bit of a business plan on how to go about like making more money on the music video when the artist doesn't have the budget for it. So I'm going to run this little clip for you guys. It's a little odd because I'm going to be looking at the computer because I just kind of recorded this on the side. But I think there's a lot of great nuggets in there that you guys will enjoy. So for me, it just came down to like my quality of life, like where my life is, where my family is. But the game to it is to obviously make sure you have enough money where you're not living job to job. If you're living job to job, it's always going to be difficult because you're going to naturally have to make sacrifices because you're not going to be homeless. Like you don't want to be homeless. So you're going to naturally find yourself having to make those sacrifices. So, you know, if you, whatever you can do to set yourself up for success, like I think it was like a couple of years ago, I put out a video talking about how to do this whole thing full time. And like for me, like again, no credit cards, right? So I didn't go into any debt. So I had to figure out how to live and how for me and my family to live on the lowest amount possible. And at the time we had our oldest son. It was me and my wife. We were living in an apartment, and I think at the bare minimum, we needed to make like $3,500 a month. And so we lived on that budget, paying the rent. We had a really limited food budget. You know, we didn't go out a whole bunch. We didn't go to the movies a whole bunch, especially when I was starting this thing out. And mind you, like my wife, she was in school full time, so she didn't work. So it was all on me. And so we lived on a very limited budget for a long time until we stacked up enough cash to where, and like I was making money consistently at a higher level to where I could feel comfortable turning down those lower end jobs. I understand when you're first starting out, you know, I honestly would tell people to go get a job outside of filmmaking to pay the bills, then get screwed in filmmaking. Because if you go get a job making $12 an hour and you're working in the mall, when you leave, you're done. Like you don't care. Like you clock out, your job is over with. And then when you go do your filmmaking jobs, you can be more selective about making sure that you're taking on the types of jobs that you're going to enjoy and that you're going to get paid the right amount for. Because if you start getting screwed from prices or you're dealing with difficult clients, things like that, it's gonna make you like stop enjoying the filmmaking process, which I mean, if you're doing it, you have to enjoy it. Like this isn't like it's not like a mega lucrative business, and it has its own stresses and things like that. But if you love it and you really enjoy it, then you should do everything you can to protect that. And if that means you have to go make money doing other things in order to protect the love you have for filmmaking, then I personally say do that. Because once you lose the love for something like this, like it's going to be real hard to come back. Like I got like year one of doing this, I got screwed at a wedding and got screwed out of like $2,500. And someone I brought out, they ended up getting screwed because I couldn't pay them. And I didn't take another wedding for like 6 years because it hurt so bad. And it like made me not enjoy it. And I was like, oh, I just don't like weddings. But no, I realized that it's not that I don't like weddings. I don't like getting screwed, you know? So for that reason, it took years for me to heal and be able to come back to it. And like, I always like feel for creators who are struggling to like make ends meet and things like that. And I always tell them, like, don't sacrifice. Like, if you want to charge what you want to charge. And if people can't pay it, go get your money. But don't sacrifice. If you're going to charge what you want to charge. Don't sacrifice there. Go get your money doing something else if you need to. And keep building up your work, and then keep looking for the right clients. Like, I don't shoot music videos at all. Like, zero. I will not do them. I will not. And it has a lot to do with that, dealing, like, here in Houston, most of the artists just don't have the budgets. And we have a lot of filmmakers that are running around doing music videos for $300, $400, $500. So they've destroyed the market for it, that I just decide not to do it. Like, if an artist reaches out to me and they ask me, hey, will you shoot a music video? I'll just flat out say no. I'll send them to somebody else. And like, for me, that's okay. That helps me protect the love I have for filmmaking, because if I take that job and then I don't like it, it's going to make me dislike filmmaking more. And I don't want to deal with that. For me, YouTube has become that like kind of holy grail area where I can create what I want to create on the schedule that I want to create it. I don't have to deal with a client telling me I don't like this, I don't like that. Like, I decide what I like and what I don't like. And then I can put it out and let the audience determine what does well, what doesn't do well. And then I can decide to make adjustments based off that or not. You know, that's totally up to me if I want to do that. If I put out a video and the audience doesn't like it, but I don't care, I enjoyed it, so I want to put out another one, then I can choose to do that. So that's why for me, like, YouTube has become that way, and like figuring out how to monetize that for me has been like the biggest benefit, because now, I mean, I shoot videos professionally that I just happen to publish on YouTube, and I make money off of it, and I don't have to deal with those, like, you know, low budget things anymore. So I mean, that's how I decide how to do it. Sorry, that was a long answer for you.
So yeah, so there you have it, guys. That's that clip. I hope that was helpful for you guys. I wasn't planning on releasing anything from this podcast, but I went ahead and decided to do this anyway because I thought that was so beneficial. Now, the cool thing is that this podcast should be coming out on the 17th, so be on the lookout for that. When it officially drops, I will let you guys know. But yeah, I always think that it's super important for you guys to know your value, but also continue to love this craft that is filmmaking. And don't get yourself in a situation where you're burned out or you hate it or you don't want to do it anymore. But if you guys have any other additional questions that you would like for me to cover, whether filmmaking, business, whatever, leave those down in the comments below. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.